vocal one so that people in Congress and in your city, in your district, know that you are supporting a great president like Trump.
Right. I have done far more than that.
Well, I'm sure
I
you
just
have.
served as a delegate. I'm serving as a delegate again
Oh, you are?
for
Okay, great.
for President Trump at the Republican National Convention. So my wife was also a delegate. So we were
Great.
in Milwaukee a few weeks ago, and interestingly, this is her third time serving as a Trump delegate. It's my
That's
second
great.
time, but we both served as delegates in 8 years ago when before it was fashionable to support President Trump. And we were part of the California delegation that was instrumental in fighting back against the effort to deny him the nomination. Because you remember 8 years ago, there was a lot of division at the convention, and there was a move to put Ted Cruz over Trump and have Ted Cruz be the nominee. And so we were successful in fighting that back. So it's been an honor to do it twice now.
Okay, Jay, you want to?
No, no, good.
We're going to start off with, we were here about a month ago, submitted basically almost the same thing. The only thing is I've done some research and I see that there's probably more like 30 million illegals in this country.
I believe it, yeah.
And we changed the number from 10 to 30. And we like to submit, you have the original, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to give him the original, and we'll just get a copy of that, and that's okay. But I'll give you that. That's
Sure.
basically what we're looking at. We feel that this country is in jeopardy for our safety, our children, our young women. They are being raped, murdered, and we need to put a stop to that. We need to deport. And I mean deport all these people in our country illegally. And if you can find a way to get your colleagues, Congress, to back something that you can come up with to start deporting these people, but we need to do it as soon as possible. The faster the better. Once we get these people out of here, then we don't have to worry so much about what's going on with our young women. So many have been killed and murdered and raped, and I'm sure you keep up with that. And it's terrible that it's going on, and we need to stop it. Find a way to, through Congress, and if every state would do something like this, we'd get rid of them, and we won't have to put up with it. So.
No, you're absolutely right about that. The problem, fortunately, is not in the House. We passed the strongest border control bill in the history of our country a few months ago in the House. It put enough funding to completely finish the border wall, completely did away with the policy of catch and release, because that's already federal law, is that the Customs and Border Patrol is not supposed to release detainees into communities. They're supposed to detain them until their immigration hearings, but they haven't been doing that, so it would put some teeth into that, and it would reinstitute the policy of Remain in Mexico, which says that if you're applying for asylum here, you have to do it lawfully. You have to remain where you are while your asylum application is processed, and if you're caught sneaking across the border, you're no longer eligible for asylum. And I think that would eliminate the incentive that people have to be here. One other thing that I think we can do, and this is much more controversial, is I think we need mandatory e-verify for all employers in the United States. I think if you hire somebody, that you should be required to put their documents through the electronic system that will tell you whether or not they're fraudulent. Because that's what happens is you just fake a social security number, and the employer doesn't care because the employer is incentivized to look the other way. And this is the difficulty that we have. So I think that's what's going to take to solve the problem. Unfortunately, we don't control the Senate, and we need to control the Senate to be able to pass these bills into law. So we can pass them out of the House as we have done. But we need to control the Senate to be able to do that.
Okay, you notice number 4. One thing that I really think that if they break the law, if we break the law, we have to suffer the consequences through the system. But these people that come over across the border and they don't, it's like they get a free card to come in here and do whatever they want to do.
Mhm.
Uh, my point is that if once they get caught and they're deported, they can no longer come back into our country.
Mhm.
They are banished from our country
Mhm.
completely because they have broke the law.
Sure. Yeah, that's one of the provisions of the bill that I was telling you about was
Yeah.
the fact that if you're caught here illegally in the country, you're no longer eligible for asylum, and I think that's really important. We have laws to varying degrees that say that if you are found guilty of an immigration violation, you're not eligible for legitimate entry. So, for example, if you've overstayed a visa, you can't then turn around and apply for a green card. But unfortunately, those are inconsistently enforced. And we need to give Customs and Border Patrol the tools and the resources that they need to toe the line on that and enforce it.
Right.